Hello, welcome to another CARECOLLAB. So today is on the Neofinitia, now reclassified as a Vanda, falcata, and its hybrids. Can you spot mine sitting here on this table? Let's just move. Boom, there she is. So this is where she sits. This is an east-facing window, and she is in lava rock. I'll pull her out and we'll talk about her some more. And then I have one more. And she sits right here on the bottom shelf of my metal grow shelf under Barina lights on the outside edge. I got her from Louisiana Orchids. So let me pull both of them out, set you up on the tripod, and we'll talk about it. Before we talk about the ladies, and they are right here, let's talk about the channels that are going to be participating today. Not gonna lie, I got my handy dandy little laptop sitting right over here because there are quite a few of us who are going to be talking about our Neofinitia Vanda falcatas and their hybrids. So I'm going to look away for a moment. I'm going to let you know who they are, and they'll also be on the screen. So participants are What's Up Orchids, Nicole Deanna, Fernando Nascimento's Orchids and Succulents, Petals, Spines, and Petals, Sepals, and Spines, Izzy's Orchids, Mary G Orchids, Todd's Tropicals, Toki World Marc, Dee Blooms, Savatsi's Orchids, Savatsi, I hope I said your name right, or your channel name right, Yinz's Orchids and ADD, Orchids by the Lake, and of course the lovely Nina from Ninja's Orchids. And just as a side note, if you'd like to participate in future CARECOLLABs, whether it be on the Vanda Neofinitia falcata, any orchid that you grow, if you post on any social media, let us know, whether it's one of the participants or you can reach out to Nina. She is the originator of the CARECOLLAB. We'll be more than happy to include you. Now, I'm going to lower you back down so we can talk about the ladies, okay? So, hold your horses here just for a second. Shouldn't be too much jiggly going on. And let me lock it in because it likes to fall on me. I'm going to move that out of the way. Turn you guys just a wee bit here. Now, this is the very first Neofinitia that I got. And actually, funny story, I purchased this lady after watching a CARECOLLAB. Well, several CARECOLLABs actually. And I thought, I think I can grow that here in my living room in Denver, Colorado. So I do grow in my living room primarily. I have started taking over some other spaces, but primarily in the living room. I do, as you can see, use Barina lights for some of the orchids. This one, however, as you saw at the beginning, sits in an east-facing window right at the front so she can get max amount of light all day. She initially, when I got her in 2021, sat under the Barina lights, and she was in a bark and moss mixture. Wasn't doing that well. I said, well, let me try something else. And then again, watching a CARECOLLAB, I cannot remember who it was. Could have been Nina, could have been one of the other participants, talked about growing theirs in lava rock. So I went to my local garden center, bought me some very small lava rock. Here, I'll take out a couple of pieces. But it's just very small lava rock. And then she's in a slotted pot right here. And she has been in this particular setup since September of 2022. And since then, guys, let me tell you, she has taken off, okay? So when I initially got her, this large fan that you see right here, and this one here was just starting. Since then, she now has 6 fans growing on here, as well as she's got all kinds of roots that we can see down in the pot. And what I love about them, of course, I don't have any root tips showing. I'm sure one of the other participants is going to show you those beautiful root tips, but you can barely see kind of the purpley burgundy root tip. They're beautiful. So what I do is she gets flushed just about every other day during the growing season. During the winter, even though I grow in a what they call controlled environment and it's warm, she's really not growing that much. So I just flush her about once a week in the wintertime. During the growing season, however, with all of this active fan growth, root growth, just growth everywhere. I have been flushing her about every other day, and every third flushing, I have been giving her fertilizer. So I fertilize with MSU fertilizer. Doesn't really matter what kind you use, to be honest with you guys, because I have used off-brand ones nobody's ever heard of, and my orchids do just fine. I just like the MSU. I have seen better growth, I should say, than none at all. Anywho, back to my lady here. So she gets about 150 to 200 parts per million, and I just flush it through, and then I let her soak in it for about 30 minutes, drain her really well, and then 24 hours after I fertilize her, I will give her a really good flush just to make sure there is no salt buildup in the pot. She does sit in this decorative mask, like so, and I let any excess water, when I pull her out of the water, I just set her in here, and I have a lot of small rock at the bottom, and what that does is it helps create humidity in this general area to help with the roots. Now, here we go. Now this one is a recent acquisition, and this is actually a hybrid, and it is from Louisiana Orchid Connection, and I got this one in May, May of this year, 2023. And this is the Neofinitia falcata Pink Shower and Lavender right here. So when I got her, she had, well, let me see, she had a leaf growing. As you can see, we have another leaf growing here. More importantly, we have roots now going down into the pot. She is potted in a moss and small seedling bark mix with some perlite and charcoal. And because she is a seedling, I do not let her dry out. So looking at this, the moss is damp. It's not wet, it's damp. So just as I start seeing the moss dry out, I set her with her friends that she came with, there's 4 of them, in a little bowl of water, and I fill it up to about right here. Right now, I'm not fertilizing her because, again, she's a seedling. I don't want to overwhelm her. So I will be doing that for about the next 3 months and slowly and gradually introduce fertilizer. And usually what I do when I introduce fertilizer to a seedling, I will probably give her about 50 parts per million once a week, and then see how she does. If she can handle that, I'll increase it to 100 gradually in 25 ppm increments. Now this also has some rock at the bottom, again for any excess water, not so much for the humidity, just to keep it from staying too wet too long. She does sit under the Barina light, as you saw, but she sits so here's the shelf. She sits on the outer edge of this shelf, so she's getting nice bright light, but she's not getting direct light on top of her. I don't want to stress her with giving her too much light at the moment. Now, in about another month or so, I'll probably move her closer to the stronger light, or I may move her to the east-facing window so she can sit with her sister here, the Neofinitia falcata. And humidity, surprisingly, y'all, this year I've had great humidity in my home. So we had our windows replaced at the beginning of this year, 2023. And since then, last year, my average humidity, 30, 35, was lucky to get 40 on a day or so. Since we've had our windows replaced, whether the windows are wide open and air blowing everywhere, or if we have our air conditioning unit on, or even the heating this past winter when it was still cold, my average humidity is now between 40 and 45. Yay! And temperature-wise, my house maintains anywhere between 75 to 80, 82. Again, depends if I have the windows closed with the AC on, or like right now, the windows are open, fans are on. It's about, let's see, 79 degrees. And right now I have 39% humidity, but it's been averaging 40, 45. I am pleased with that. I also added a carpet in here, so I don't know if that's helping hold humidity in or not, but definitely I know the windows have made a difference. And I believe that's everything that I can tell you about my ladies. I'm about to go check out everybody else's video, see if there's any I want to put on my list, because you know we all have a list. And in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next video.